Now, we've got a little bit of an update when it comes to Voyager Digital, the cryptocurrency exchange that has frozen everybody's assets, filed for bankruptcy, and is choosing to view their customers not as customers, but as creditors instead. And therefore, all of us that had assets on Voyager were stuck here in the bankruptcy proceedings as well. Now, guys, there may be a light at the end of the tunnel here. We're going to talk about a couple of different things, but FTX, another cryptocurrency exchange, is trying to swoop in and save and basically convert all of Voyager Digital's customers over to FTX customers. So we're going to discuss what this plan is all about and the likelihood of it happening. So if it sounds like something you're interested in, let's get started. What's up, everybody? I'm Clay. I'm here to make 2022 the best year ever. If you haven't clicked that subscribe button, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Join us, become a bro. We are here every single day, and we are growing our portfolios together. And look, if you're brand new to investing, you don't know how or where to buy stocks in crypto, you got a link in the description below for Webull. It is super simple to set up your account. Any deposit, you guys are getting 6 free stocks. $1 crypto trades, you're going to get $5 in free crypto. And look, I'm going to put a link in the description as well for FTX. If you guys do want to sign up for it, we're going to talk a little bit about the pros and cons or the risks / rewards of doing it, but at least you'll have that account ready to go if it is something that you guys want to participate in. So make sure to check that out down there as well. So Voyager Digital, we're not going to go into too much detail about what's going on here, but Voyager basically froze everybody's assets after the CEO said there was no financial trouble there. Yeah, right. What a liar. And now we're in bankruptcy proceedings. So worst case scenario, everybody that is a Voyager Digital customer is deemed a creditor, and they get a percentage. Guys, bankruptcy or insolvency proceedings, what they do is they allow the company to not pay back the full amount to their creditors. You and I, we're considered creditors. So whatever the judge deems necessary and I guess available that Voyager has on hand, they will be allowed to pay that percentage back to their customers. So let's say if the bankruptcy judge comes out and says, okay, Voyager Digital's got 10% of what they owe everybody gets a nice 10%. Or the secured creditors, they get paid off first, and whatever's left can go to the unsecured creditors like you and me. So this bankruptcy proceeding is very important for anybody who has a stake or anybody who has money held on Voyager. Now, that's even if you have USDC, if you get stable coins or anything like that, but even if you have Shiba Inu coin, Luna Classic, they're taking it all, okay? They're taking it all, and they have no regard for us as depositors. We are instead lenders. So what FTX is proposing on doing here, and we're going to go over to a hopefully best case scenario after we talk about FTX. FTX is basically saying, okay, well, let's get involved with these bankruptcy proceedings, and what we can do here is provide additional and quicker liquidity to all of the customers that Voyager has. Now, what does this look like? FTX is willing to allow, if Voyager is willing to work with them and the judge approves it, FTX is willing to work with Voyager and say, okay, your customers, they never intended to be a creditor. They never intended to be held up in these bankruptcy proceedings. What we're going to allow them to do is transfer their assets from Voyager over to FTX. Now, FTX is still functioning as is, and FTX doesn't have any problems at this point in time with liquidity or bankruptcy issues, and they're saying we will allow them to transfer a portion of their assets to get off of the Voyager platform and to not be involved in this bankruptcy proceeding over to our platform. Now, what does this look like? That portion, that percentage has not been determined yet, but one can assume, and this is where we're going to have to see things play out in the bankruptcy hearing and in between the judge a little bit more here. One can assume that it's not going to be your full amount. Is it 50%? Is it 75%? Is it 10, 20%? Nobody knows what that amount's going to be, but at that point in time, here's what FTX stands to gain. A new customer, a loyal customer. They came and they saved you, right? Right now, Voyager could be locked up like Mt. Gox for the next 8 years. So they came over and provided you an out. They allowed you to transfer that portion or that percentage off of Voyager onto their platform, and you're back in the game. You just took a little bit of a hit, right? Now, it could work out very well because they've got a loyal customer at that point, and, okay, if they're able to recover more than the percentage that they promise you, where do you think that money's going to go? It's not going back to Voyager. It would go to FTX at that point. They provided you a service. So let's say they give you 50%, but Voyager Digital ends up paying out 75% to all of its creditors. FTX is basically your creditor at that point, and they're providing you the liquidity and the credit there, and therefore they would receive that additional 25%. So it would be a win-win for FTX to swoop in right now, gather all of these customers. Maybe they gather all 3 million of Voyager Digital's customers and provide that safe haven for them. And on top of the customers who are willing to buy, sell, hold, and trade on FTX's platform, we have additional coins that could be given to them 1 year, 2 year, 5 years down the road after these bankruptcy proceedings are completely finalized and so on. So it is definitely a win-win for FTX in that situation and could be a win for customers as well. Look, guys, I'm going to be the first to admit I don't want to get held up in some stupid bankruptcy proceeding for the next 8 years like Mt. Gox and wait on my USDC to be mine once again 8 years down the road. And at some point, with all of the uncertainty that's going on out there in the crypto market and all the uncertainty that's going on with these centralized exchanges, you have to weigh the pros and cons and what percentage it would be. If FTX is going to offer you 80% of your cryptocurrency, believing that they can recover 100% from Voyager Digital, it may be a good decision, and it may be a good thing to do, especially if that 80% is now, or you wait for the 100% 5 years down the road. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot to be considered in this situation. So I'm not telling everybody to go out there and just sign up for FTX with no concern whatsoever. I mean, you can if you want. Like, you can use the link in the description below to sign up. It doesn't mean that you have to partake in this, I guess, transfer of the bankruptcy proceedings and things like that. You'll already have your account signed up and ready to go, so that if they do allow these transfers, you could be first in line to see that happen. But best case scenario in this entire deal is that customers are made whole. And as far as FTX doing that, I don't know if they're going to be able to do it, but let's say we do wait years, and the bankruptcy proceedings are finally over with, and Voyager Digital is paying everybody out. Let's just say, for example, they pay me 50% of my USDC, and they pay me the additional 50% in VGX token. At that point, I am made whole, but, I had to wait. So it's going to be a big decision for investors on what is more important, time or money. And at this point in the game, there's a lot of fear, a lot of uncertainty, and a lot of shady, scammy, scummy things going on with centralized exchanges. So it's an interesting take by FTX. And I agree, they're going to get a lot of customers from this. They're going to grow as an exchange because of this, and a decent and creative way to not only help people out, but grow their business as well. I want to know what you guys think, though, down in the comments below. Would you consider, simple as this, would you consider taking that portion of your taking a portion of your Voyager holdings and moving them over to FTX if it meant you could have your money back now as opposed to waiting for these bankruptcy proceedings? And if the answer is yes, just use the link in the description below to sign up for FTX, guys. And of course, if this button right here is still red, make sure to click it, subscribe to the channel, join us, become a bro. We are here every single day, and we are growing our portfolios together. You got ClayBro883 on Twitter and Instagram. You're getting 6 free stocks on Webull. And until the next time, hope that each and every one of you have an awesome day.